I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy, all I got is working, never stop searching, never quite so thirsty, I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic, you can't stop it, it's been chronic, since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic,
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving, got my foot on gas, never stop competing, if you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em, make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em, if you take off the cast, you can see all the healing, if the pain's in the past, move on from the grieving, put your foot on the gas, no, never stop competing, yeah.
I've been doing this, I'm on it, I just wanna be iconic, sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah, if I ever play I want it, you know that I'm always honest, stay away from those who are toxic, keep them out your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy, the enemy is everything, it's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me, I don't need your therapy, I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity, come on, we can fight this, freedom is priceless, spread just like a virus, living in a crisis, do you feel courageous, do you seek greatness, trust me you can take it, go on and take your aim, yeah.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving, got my foot on gas, never stop competing, if you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em, make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em, if you take off the cast, you can see all the healing, if the pain's in the past, move on from the grieving, put your foot on the gas, no, never stop competing, yeah.
And so passionate, every word I move so descriptive like an adjective, I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness, hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior, inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior, get off of me, this ain't no humble brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back, I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help, I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness.
What is going on, Hive? I hope everybody's having a great day. Make sure my audio's coming in loud and clear. Oh man, we have a great stream lined up tonight. And before I start this, I want to say to everybody that has put stuff that they've had saved from the beginning of this case into the Discord, I can't even get through all of it. There are so many interesting headlines and titles. And so I tried to pick a couple that I felt had some questions that were always pertinent whenever they would come up. And some people found the original source. I've also seen 3 things that I've never seen before, which is crazy. So thank you all for being here. This is going to be a live dig. As you know, those are some of the best streams, as the chat will be working together to try to piece this stuff together. We're going to be working together to try to piece this together. Exactly. Now, I have this theme of the Idaho 4 with strange headlines. It's pretty remarkable when you go back and you look at how many times it flip-flopped. Targeted, not targeted. And that's what we're going to start with, and we're going to get into that. I obviously want to go ahead and say what's up to everybody. Z, that's exactly right. We're hive diving. Shadow Ghost, what's Gucci? Hell yeah, Fiji. How are you doing? It is popping off, Luna, for sure. Thank you to everybody that's been helping me out with the Discord. Shout out to Discord Dawn, UFO Dog, Luna, Robin, Ms. Birdie. Tuning in from Norway. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, geez, I just saw that the username. That's riding down the rabbit hole. What up? What up? Nurtured is what I'm going to continue to call you. But I agree. I wish I would have saved some. Discord is lit, which, speaking of the Hangman Tarot card, I want to take a second here. And next week, I don't know what day yet, I wanted to make sure that at some point, while we were still talking about Idaho 4, who knows how long we will be covering that. I mean, if stuff comes up, we can do it. Or if people find stuff, we're obviously going to keep doing it after we even go back to this beginning. Who knows what's going to happen? But one of the things that I have not done is I have not done any psychic or tarot card reader. I have one that's going to come on the stream next week. So that's going to be awesome. I got to get the date dialed down or dialed in, but I just wanted you guys to know that, because I'll watch those videos. It's just, you got to follow the entirety of the video, and they're super long for Hive Mind finds. So I haven't done any of the psychic stuff. But that shit's interesting as hell. Like, I don't know how those people do it, but Growth Renewal, how are you doing? Karma Police, Savvy Rooster, Brooke, Lisa, Robin Lynn, thank you. Chrissy, True to It Connections. No talkie before coffee. Love that username. Rocket Queens, tuning in from Australia. Steph, Davina Duvall, Granny Wolf, Essie, Becky, Open Your Peepers, Tish, Eileen, UK Karen, UFO Dog, Stephanie, Color Journey with Kelly. What's up, Jesse Jr. 16? What's up, Brian? How are you doing? Kathy, well, I'm glad you're back. And yes, that will be next week. Like I said, I will have the announcement when I get that dialed in. It might be. What up, Amanda B and Mary? Thank you, Gabby girl. I appreciate that. What up, Jesty? Discord Dawn. Mommy Karen. Oops, clicked the wrong one. Mommy Karen. Marcy C. All right, Hive. Well, like I said, this is going to be a live dig. I don't really know how I could get through all of this stuff without having it be in the format of a live dig. So how am I trying to say this? Jeez. Those type of streams might be a little bit more regular. Not that, I'm not talking to the chat a lot, but I know when I have guests on, sometimes it's hard for me too. So Tonight, I'm going to be dialed into the chat. And yes, first off, thank you to everybody that left a comment. Me and Mrs. Birdie were reading those all. Thank you for everybody who wished us congratulations. That's awesome. You guys rock. So, all right, let's get into it. Hang on. 1 second, Hive. I think I might have the wrong. Hold on. What? Everything me. Hang on. Hold on. Let me. Dude, what just happened? Thank you. Holy cow. That is by far the biggest donation for a super chat I've ever gotten. And I cannot just blow by that one. Holy shit. Thank you. I don't even know what to say. Actually, you know, I recognize this username from a comment on a video that I responded to today. I recognize this comment, and this, I hope everybody can appreciate or can understand and appreciate why I'm going to go show this. Obviously, it's a $200 super chat. Jesus. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for that. Now, I can't remember what video it was on. 1 second. Right here. I found it. Everything, first of all, Everything Me 23 was roasting me for having my top button on my polo shirt buttoned in my Daily Sting, which I said I was waiting for somebody to say that. But then Everything Me said congratulations, and they said, no, thank you. I disagree with stuff you say, but thank you for allowing people to agree to disagree. And brother, your child will open up your mind into the world. Congratulations. Taking every moment with your child. But one piece of advice, don't ever put your child before mama. You and her are all that matter. Or you and her are all that matter, brother. Congratulations. Love your work. Keep it up. So that's crazy. Thank you so much. Man, that's a night maker right there. Let's have a good ass stream, Hive, huh? Thank you. Now, all right. Tomorrow night, I don't know if anybody saw this post. I had put this up earlier this afternoon. Tommy Jude is going to be a guest in the Hive tomorrow night at 7 Central. Now, Tommy was the first stream or the first channel that I ever did like a co-stream with. So he had seen some of my stuff in the theories that I was putting out over on TikTok. I had been announcing that I'm going to be making a YouTube channel, and Tommy and his producer had reached out, and he welcomed me with open arms. And honestly, it was a great, like, just stepping into the platform of YouTube. And I still have people say that they found me through Tommy. So it's a full circle moment, and I'm very excited for this. We've been trying to get this scheduled, and I'm stoked that he will be here tomorrow night. And it fits in perfectly with a theme that we've been talking about, with going back to the beginning on what was being said initially. So that is tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Central. Also, real quick, I just want to plug the channel. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. So what I've learned, when my channel was shut down during that live stream, I was only in YouTube jail for like a little over 48 hours. But there's this, I'm in a timeout, essentially, which I understand why, but it lasts 2 to 3 weeks. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. That way you do see when the streams go on, because what people say they've experienced when that happens is if you have your notifications on when I go live, sometimes it doesn't put 100% notifications out to people, as well as, you know, a few other things. they're kind of just making sure I'm going to be on my best behaviors from what I've researched. But I go live every weeknight at 7 Central, and then in the mornings I post what I'm calling the daily sting, which is 3 current event stories in 20 minutes with 0 BS, and I get right to the point. So thank you to everybody that is subscribed, that does like it, that does share it, to send it to their friends. And now, is there any topic? I have 2 picked out. Did you guys like that? I mean, I don't necessarily have to do the poll. Did you guys like how you got to pick one of the articles? And if not, I don't have to do that. I don't want to, always do something that you guys don't want to have to, think about, like, well, what should we do for a high pick? But I know there was people saying like the D4 or David, essentially. Oh, thank you so much. And to everybody that has tuned in, thank you. But if not, yeah, I was gonna say crickets. Thanks, back. No worries. No worries. It's very easy to come up with. Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to come up with, 3 articles. It's very easy to quick do that. So what I think I'm gonna do is, how about this? I'm gonna continue to get into my flow of posting those, and then we will get into where there's a topic, and if somebody wants to say it, what the articles should be, that's what we'll do then. So it's a little bit, it's obviously a different part of my routine now, where instead of just editing all of the lives, I have to get up and record. So I'll just go ahead and I will find the additional article. No worries about that. Totally fine. Now, I did not change this Discord question of the day because I didn't get to really answer it last night with Devil's Advocates on the stream. And guys, we're going to get into the Idaho 4. Okay. I'm sorry. This has been a slow start to the stream. Let me address that. I apologize. My head is spinning still from the super chat. And real quick, I just wanted to make sure I readdress this, because this was a really thoughtful question about how is your life changed since starting your TikTok and YouTube journey focusing on the Idaho 4 case. I can imagine it takes up a lot of your time preparing the lives, answering emails, speaking with other creators, etc. Have you had to sacrifice anything from your usual day-to-day jobs or activities? And all I did yesterday was I just said, I don't get as many steps in, like, even close to what I used to. I never used to sit in front of my computer. I would always be out and about driving. And so my daily step count went down, but I don't feel like that did it justice. And I will say this: how has my life changed? Nothing has changed. Like, I still have my job, and I'm still doing this from my office like I always have. But I've realized that I've never been a part of an internet community, genuinely. And it's weird because for me, I don't play video games. I've never been, on message boards. I've never done any of that. So this is all new to me, and it's just really interesting. And I can see how people absolutely love that, and they feel like they have friends to this degree. And now I'm getting all corny and cheesy and just being a cheese ball here, or a cornball here. But I mean, I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate it. And I guess I could say, like, I never expected to, actually have friends that I've met through doing this. So thank you to everybody that does tune in. So now, moving on to the Hive Mind finds. Let's get into it. We're going to, why does that look? Oh, because I don't have those things on. There we go. I had the wrong background up. Let's get into the Hive Mind finds. Cat's Mojo was on fire in the Discord. And who remembers this woman? Because there's been a lot of questions about this lady. And I'll let this play.
Destiny Martin with the LCSC Pathfinder. Can you lend any insights into the possibility that the murder weapon is linked to the ROTC program? And also, you mentioned that the analysis unit is here. Will we be able to hear anything from them about a working profile they possibly have? Um, and on that note, have you guys ruled out the possibility that the killer might be a female?
So we look at every avenue. We're looking at every group of people. Like I said early in our first press conference, we're not going to let any stone go unturned.
So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about in that video that kind of flew over my head the first few times that I had watched this. And if you don't know, this lady was then accused of being a fake reporter, but she asked some interesting questions. And I'm going to play this again. It's only 45 seconds. And I want you guys to listen closely, not just to what she asks, which is, was there a female involved? Listen to how Chief Fry responds, because there is apparently no risk, and this was a targeted attack. Listen to what he says.
Destiny Martin with the LCSC Pathfinder. Can you lend any insights into the possibility that the murder weapon is linked to the ROTC program? And also, you mentioned that the analysis unit.
So I'm going to pause right there. Is the murder weapon linked to the ROTC program? Wild accusation. There is zero chance that somebody just pulls that out of their ass, unless it is the most simplistic thought of, which, by the way, did they even say they found a K-bar sheath yet? Right? And I'm gonna do my best to explain this, because I looked into this lady's story, and I have a couple more slides on it. So, because I wanted to ask you guys this: was there any? They've said like, oh, they might have been stabbed, but then when they say the ROTC program, I go, holy shit! I don't know how I haven't really listened or like paid attention to it that much. That she says, is the murder weapon linked to the ROTC program? Okay. Now, it's a Marine style K-bar knife. ROTC are kids who are in college that they train. I'm going to butcher the explanation of it. How I would describe it is, it's like kind of in a way like National Guard while you're in college, meaning you have to go to boot camp, and then you have to do drill on some, I believe on some weekends or some months. You have to do like a weekend every so often. But then I believe you get to come out of college and in the military as an officer. So I hope I got that right. But that's crazy that she alleged that. Now, watch Chief Fry's face too.
Is linked to the ROTC program. And also, you mentioned that the analysis unit is here. Will we be able to hear anything from them about a working profile they possibly have? And on that note, have you guys ruled out the possibility that the killer might be a female?
So look at this look, dude. He's looking at her like, who the hell is this lady? Like, what did you just say, woman? Like he's like, what? Is it a female killer? Is the weapon linked to ROTC? Hold on. Yeah, he looks offended, because he's got to be offended, because he's like, how the hell does she know that? And I'm about to get up here and say nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort is anything about an ROTC program and the murder weapon being potentially linked to it. And the next time that anybody's in George Webb's lives, if I'm in there, I'll ask it too. But if George is live, ask him if he's familiar with this interview. I should email him this clip, because I don't know if he's seen it. And then a female killer, she's asking this on, what day was this? I mean, it says 2 years ago. Does it give the specific date? No, it doesn't. Oh, December 2nd. Okay, so this is like soon after. Now listen to what he says.
So we look at every avenue. We're looking at every group of people. Like I said early in our first.
We're looking at every avenue and we're looking at every group of people. Now, here's the thing. This makes me feel like there was only select reporters that could get into that press conference. This seems like she, being a citizen journalist, not a fake reporter, because I also believe that's how they slandered and discredited her. They think that this is just some crazy lady who's going to get up there and hold a phone, yet drops the most bombshell question. Yeah, that's a fake reporter. Give me a break. Being a reporter, I believe it's a mindset, genuinely. You have to want to find the truth. You have to want to investigate. The writing skills, I think, come second to that. Right? If you're going to be a citizen journalist, I think you have to be willing to go boots on the ground, put it out there, ask a question. I guarantee that's the hardest hitting question of this entire Chief Fry interaction with any reporter he's ever had. And then he goes, we're looking into every group of people. Excuse me? Sir, what did you say? I thought this was a targeted attack by a lone perpetrator that had no connection to the victims. So, can somebody help me understand that? And I'm so glad you just said that, Ariana. This was also the last public press conference that the MPD did. Following this press conference, they hired a PR company to interview Fry one-on-one only after this happened. And guess what happened to this reporter? Anybody want to take a guess? Come on. Pullman, Washington, a 45-year-old woman died in a crash involving a semi-truck on U.S. Highway 95 in southern Kanawha County on Tuesday, May 14th. ISP reports the crash occurred at 12:30 p.m. south of Dismay, Iowa. Destiny Martin, 45, of Pullman, was driving an SUV in a head-on collision with a tractor trailer driven by an Ohio man. The 31-year-old semi-driver suffered critical injuries and was flown to a local hospital. Reports say Martin died at the scene. The crash closed the highway between Potlatch and 10th for about 4 hours. Reports say ISP are still investigating the crash. Come on, that is wild. You want to know what else is wild? This is the entirety of the article. This is the entire article. Try to find anything on the 31-year-old semi-truck driver. Try to find anything else about this. So here I am preparing the slides for the stream, going through the Discord, and I genuinely thought to myself, I'm not even going to be able to get through. Like, I was going to do like a who on one night, then a what on one night, then a where on the other night. I started doing that. I'm like, I have to just put things out there that need to be looked into, that are, again, keeping with our theme of going back to the beginning, forgetting everything that we know about this case, back to the first 48 hours, and now the initial headlines after those 48 hours. Why is a random woman asking about an ROTC linked weapon, a female killer, and why does that woman end up dead in May? And Sherlock, you had said earlier, was she in a Tesla? They can control your car remotely. People don't understand. Oh, yes, they can. Yeah, Jeremy knows. So that's wild. Now, here's another one that I've never heard. This comes from Dark Knight's mom. I'm going to go ahead and play this.
On Good Morning Northwest, tragedy on the U of I campus. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. The new information we're learning and the
Again, this is epic how people have this. Okay. Did you guys hear what it said?
questions are hoping to be answered. On Good Morning Northwest, tragedy on the U of I campus. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. The new information we're learning and the questions are hoping to be answered. On Good Morning Northwest, tragedy on the U of I campus. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. The new information we're learning and the questions are hoping to be answered.
Witnesses tell me that it may have well been preserved because the phone was passed around between one of the fraternity members and the girls. One of them unfortunately witnessed the death, the body. Can you confirm that?
Oh shit. Sorry. Somebody witnessed the death. Like we watched that clip so many times, and I'm just gonna do it like this so I can, because I just can't believe this. When you look at the lyric, or not the lyrics, the captions, because he asked, somebody witnessed the death, the bodies, which again, that could just be him misspeaking. Okay, I don't want to go and not acknowledge that that's what it could have been. But either way, it doesn't matter, because think about this. Somebody witnessed the death or witnessed the body, then how did you see the body but not the other one in the same room then, based on where they were found? And then why would you say that they were unconscious at noon? So again, I'm really trying right now to act as if I don't know anything about this case. That's interesting. Now, yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna play this again. This is a wild clip. So Dark Knight's mom, top dog.
On Good Morning Northwest, tragedy on the U of I campus. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. The new information we're learning and the questions are hoping to be answered. On Good Morning Northwest, tragedy on the U of I campus. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. The new information we're learning and the questions are hoping to be answered.
Witnesses tell me that it may have well been preserved because the phone was passed around between one of the fraternity members and the girls. One of them.
What does that mean? It may have well been preserved because the phone was passed around between one of the fraternity members and the girls. What does that mean? It may have well been preserved? Is that just a weird line of speech, or what does that mean?
Unfortunately witnessed the death, the body. Can you confirm that?
We cannot actually. We know nothing about that whole phone call. We've asked, and it's, I mean, I know that a lot of people want to know, but that's just not our agenda. We just are like, somebody called 911, somebody was reported unconscious. We don't really know. I mean, we've heard so many different things.
City of Moscow Police Department's post.
So I don't even know what to make of all of this, to be honest. And you know what's interesting? One of my buddies sent me this screenshot today. Let me pull it up. They always call it a conspiracy, but they never call it a lie. I'm going to say that again. They'll always call you a conspiracy theorist. They'll never call you a liar. It was a conspiracy that somebody went to the hospital that morning. They didn't say it was a lie. And now that I don't know what it is about that screenshot, but it like hit me hard where I'm like, from now on, whenever I hear somebody say, no, that's just an outrageous conspiracy theory, especially when they're in a position of power, like what Chief Fry or like what Bill Thompson or what anybody close to the case should be saying, if they don't say, no, that's just factually wrong, nobody went there, I don't know why people are saying that needs to stop, instead of saying, no, those are just conspiracies. No, why don't you correct it on the record instead of just trying to discredit it as a conspiracy? And I agree. How would that not bother them that the 911 call was at noon? What if their daughter could have been saved? It's a question that I think a lot of people have had, Terry. Like, it's just wild. I don't get how people aren't more shocked and confused about that. Because people have spent time on their world beliefs and they have a defense mechanism to protect that so they don't just float around in the wind believing anything at the drop of a dime. Yeah, I mean, it's not that you even have to believe it, but some people can't even think it. So who do you guys think? And again, I'm not going to say it because I could be misremembering genuinely. I know of who was rumored in my mind that went to the hospital. Who do you guys remember them saying went to the hospital? That was what this video was referring to. Exactly. Right, Wade Bird? Good to see you. I mean, honestly, that's a great answer, LA Mike. That is, you know what? Hang on. Let's think through that. How? I'm trying to think right now. If that was who LA Mike just said it was that went to the hospital, how would that get into the reporting? Like yeah, LA Mike literally might have a point. Mowich also had a gold van. That what one? Don't leave us hanging. Good to see you, dude. And that's who I thought everybody said as well. That's a great question too, Terry. Correct. And then that's when the nurse and the hospital staff, they saw through it and they actually put the tip into the FBI. He later passed. The next day, 4 days later, is when MPD held their first press conference. Allegedly. Yeah, it's things that make you go, Wait, Jack D mentions a gold van? Sid, do you happen to know the document off the top of your head? Wow. Wow. That's right. It's in his interview. That's right. Whoa. Help me piece this together. I'm going to listen to this again.
On Good Morning Northwest, tragedy on the U of I campus. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. The new
Dude. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. Again, I'm doing the wordplay thing, but work with me on this, Hive. 4 students dead, another student in the hospital. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. Those are 2 completely different things, right? Do you guys get what I mean? Like, again, I'm not even saying I'm right, but do you guys get what I'm saying with that? As we can all agree, words matter. Well, that's what I'm at. Yeah, that's what I mean. April is like, does that mean another student or not another student? And that's the 1 second. One second. Sorry, Hive. I'm just doing this quick. Come on. What the heck? Why can't I pull this up? Well, I have the document. Okay. So it's MPD 114. This is who did this? Da-da-da-da-da. All right, well, I'll read the part where it talks about it. I asked Decor if he noticed or heard anything suspicious anytime recently. Decor stated he saw a dark gold minivan backing up King Road approximately 1 to 2 months prior. Decor stated he did not remember any other suspicious circumstances. He did add Gonzalez would call him on occasion when she was walking home alone or when she was feeling sketched out. Stated there was people coming in and out of 1122 King Road frequently, and more people knew the code to their door than they should have. Wow. And it said in the interview. So are we to think that I'll shut up. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to play the rest of this clip.
information we're learning and the questions we're hoping to be answered. On Good Morning Northwest, tragedy on the U of I campus. 4 students dead, another in the hospital. The new information we're learning and
4 students dead, another in the hospital. He was in the hospital. Wow. That's crazy. Thank you, Granny Wolf. I appreciate that. Follow the money. I remember they're saying JD went to the hospital for his hand, and it looked like he had a gun in his pocket in the sweatpants picture they took. Well, yeah, and right, that's the whole thing. How do we know? How do we know? We might not ever know. We might not ever know. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is what we're doing. We are reverting to rumors we heard before. So going back to this, the ROTC link with the murder weapon, I did not catch that the first time. The female killer has been floated out from a female accomplice. Now, let's think about this. What if, because again, we're not going to revert to old rumors. Thank you for the reminder. Okay. Again, we're only doing this to come up with brand new thought processes, and we just fell victim to it for 10 minutes there. So we can't go back to the beginning and just go and redo everything that we've speculated on for this long. We have to, I feel like we need to really, again, emphasize that we are wiping our memories clean. Now, I just had a thought pop into my head as I said that, and it was, going back to that lady, the quote fake reporter saying, was it a female accomplice? Well, what if 4 students dead, another in the hospital? What if it was a girl? And what if it, let's assume that at face value, the 4 roommates that they said are dead. What if it was a girl? What if it was a killer? And maybe was saying, for all we know, it could have been a perpetrator. Could have said that she escaped because maybe she was cut up, said there were defensive wounds. You guys following me? And oh man, look at that. See, the hive is alive. It's alive. It's alive. Yes. Dude. Stop it, Tony. Damn you. It's a new theory, though. That is a new theory, so I have to give you credit on that. Right. That is a fact. Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. I've never thought about that. Guys, think about how many times you've seen that play out in movies where it's like somebody who actually committed the crime gets injured, but the other person's dead and they act like they were the one that was attacked. Wow. See, that's the type of thought process we need to have. Who was the one that reminded us? I forgot who it was, but I got to reiterate again. Thank you. Right. Right. That's a high IQ move. Doesn't mean that it's morally right, but that's high IQ. Oh my God. Again, this is all allegedly. Could you imagine if somehow, some way that story was believed? And then let's say that person ended up in a documentary. Or maybe that person's mother ended up in the documentary. That would be mind-blowing. Maybe to keep the narrative going, that's why that girl wasn't in the documentary and her mom was. And she didn't know when she was going to be coming home because she said she just needed to get away. What if she's locked up? Again, This is a contrarian thinking live stream. We are purposefully forgetting everything we know about this case because we do not feel as if the narrative is even, you can't even undo the twists and the turns that we've all gone through. And that is the point of this exercise. We are trying to debunk, if anything, other theories. I don't know, Mary. Has it been confirmed if that is a fact? Because and maybe that is why the wounds are different, because maybe some of the girls were fighting the girl. And we've talked about, again, I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause myself. I know that we know about the autopsy reports, and we know about the defense, the defense's experts saying that it looks like there's two different attackers because of the way that the wounds were. But still, I mean, yes. How would we do that? Oh my God. Hold on. What if there was a guy who was in the ROTC that was dating the roommate that they say was just on the lease but not present? What if there was a guy in the ROTC that was dating one of their friends? Exactly. And I'm sorry, I don't think, like, why would you pay for a room and not live there? Whether you're financially well off enough to be able to do that, let me ask you this. Why wouldn't those girls in a giant party house want one of their friends they didn't live with not to move in with them? You can do a sublet. Right. I don't know. I mean, to me, the autopsy report, again, it seemed like they did the certain testing on them because there was potentially signs of, I think, bound and gagged, hence why they did the entire essay and the rape kit. You don't do that for just a stabbing unless there's signs that they were bound or tied, is from my research on it. I did that live, actually. Right. Well, yeah, and were you trapped by illegally? I mean, you might be on the hook, but I'm pretty sure that I would guess that if she didn't pay, it would fall onto the other roommates. And I know that from Alpha Kenny, the dude whose mom allegedly owned Idaho Property Management, that just so happened to stumble into my live over on TikTok back in the day. First time ever seeing me, and also then just first time ever joining a live and staying on the stream for an hour and not letting me get him off the stream so that he can continue to call me a conspiracy theorist. What is the Franklin Credit Union Boys Town? What am I specifically looking for? Oh, are you saying that for the, sorry, if you might be referring to doing an article maybe because it's about government cover-ups and nationwide child trafficking. That is definitely a topic that would be worthy of a daily sting. I've never heard that. There's a Business Insider article. Business Insider article. Does anybody have that article by chance? I mean, I doubt that this is. Let's just see if I can. No. Oh, it's wiped. And from the way back? Yeah, send me that, Sherlock. Yeah, they've scrubbed a lot. Now, guys, this is when I said that this was going to be a live dig. This is the part that I'm talking about. I've never went through this Reddit thread. Has anybody in here gone through this? And yeah, Care. So thank you for saying that. This is how you'll do it. Let me share this quick. So guys, please hit subscribe and then join the Discord. The Discord's where I pull all of the Hive Mind finds from, where I pull the question of the day from. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to my YouTube channel, press this 7 links button right here where my cursor is. Scroll down and it's right here. And then if you guys could please, the next time you open up Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or X, I got a effing strike on my TikTok account today because I had a warning for something else. And then they got me with a strike from my own content from this stream that I clipped and edited. They said it was unoriginal content. And it was only me. And then it was my thumbnail above it. And I can't even appeal it. So I'm pissed. So I won't be on TikTok posting clips for a while because I'm not gonna mess around with that. But I'll be on X, I'll be on Facebook, Instagram. I'm working with Robin to get the Substack back up and running. I was in a good rhythm. And then ever since Labor Day, I've been lacking. But I'll get back on that. Yeah, I don't know. Just I'm back. All right. So we're going to go down this Reddit thread. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this. Type of 1, I just want to know so that when I'm going through this, type of 1, if you've gone down the Boise thread. This is from 3 years ago. Yes, you have to download the Discord app first from the App Store or Google Play. Oh, Lily, why do you say that? Remember, we don't know anything, right, Lily? We're starting over. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. That wasn't the one, though. What up, Kelly? Tuning in from Long Island. All right, let's get into it. So this is 4 students found dead near University of Idaho campus in Moscow. All right, let me zoom in a bit. Okay, this is crazy. And we knew this. Yeah, no spoilers. No spoilers. Remember, we don't know anything. Okay. So, for being a small, cozy college town in Moscow, It has an awful lot of shocking murders. It's a bit alarming that 4 people could have been murdered and nobody heard or reported anything. The article says it happened off campus, but that's kind of a technicality. That neighborhood is directly adjacent to the campus and is densely packed with student housing. I've been to parties in at least 2 of the buildings in that picture. Here are updates with links to stories. I knew victims from 2 of these incidents. Mass shooting in 2015, 3 dead, 1 injured. Mass shooting in 2007, 4 dead, 2 injured. Murder-suicide by U of I professor in 2011. Guy unalived by his ex-wife and hit her body in 2010. Possible killing for hire in 2001. U of I student's remains found and cause of death ruled homicide in 99. And an article from 2015 talking about the murders in Moscow. Now, what I thought was epic about this thread and that it's still up is these people are discussing this in real time right after this has happened. So Moscow has an awful lot of shocking murders. I remember this one when I was in school too. Oh. Oh, I can't show that, damn it. Come on. All right. I went to school there in the early mid 90s. Like the area was known, of course, to be a bit south of white supremacist alley. That's, yep. But it wasn't that bad. What you were saying about the murder surprises me. Obviously, it's been a while. I haven't been back there since 2000. So this is interesting too. Right. And then how does this reconcile with the initial report to 911? The top button, apparently, people are not fans of, huh? From the Daily Sting either. That's funny. I don't blame you. I do wonder. I was wondering that. It might have been. I didn't want to show that anymore because there was a cop holding the AR. Z says Skagit County has been facing a serious problem with F overdoses. Officials reported multiple fatal ODs in early 2025 and warned of a quote killer batch being mixed into street drugs. Wow. Just catching up on these comments. It wasn't scrolling for some reason. Yeah, let's share this to Discord. Good idea, Gamble. So, I mean, how does this reconcile with the initial report of 911 to an unconscious person? There were some reports of that the unconscious person was actually. Wow. Hold on. Have we ever thought of this? Have we ever thought of this? Is this why they've blacked out the rooms? Is this why there's another in the hospital? That we would have seen 5 people? Have we ever thought about that? 4 were dead. 1's in a hospital. The unconscious person was actually the perp. I've never thought of that. I have never thought of that. Wow. So if that was the case, that would make sense for why they would say 4 students dead, another at the hospital. There was also a police report yesterday that the police were called to the ICU because a patient had become aggressive. Could this be the person who was found unconscious, the perpetrator? Patient who was brought in by officers early. Whoa. What? So I'm reading this thread for the first time, past just the top one. So I have not drilled down into these comments. Yeah. So the police took a patient to the hospital. Yeah, these are good. These are really good. How? Hang on. Can we give ourselves a little reality check, Hive? This is just good coaching. Okay. I hope everybody in here wants, I sound like everybody, we need to get 1% better every day. 1% better every day. And I'm going to take a second here, and I hope that this helps us. But we have talked so much about the Idaho 4 case, and we got locked in and put blinders on to 4 or 5 theories. I've not heard one. I don't think I've heard it. Not a bunch, that the unconscious person might have been the perp. That the person who went to the hospital might have been the perp that was passed out and was transported there by a cop. And then now they're saying that there was a police report yesterday that the police were called to the ICU. We should try to find that police report. Now they said there's no report at the bottom, so maybe it doesn't exist. Yeah. Right. It is mind-blowing. Right? Yeah. It's not a bad, and this is all a theory, Hive. I hope, man, I hate saying, like, I hope we can all appreciate what it is that we're doing here. We're thinking out loud. We have the freedom to think out loud. And that's all this is. I don't think that this is any weirder than believing the official story at this point. Because I think if you believe the official story at this point, you might be weirder than us. So let's get weird, Hive. Hang on, somebody just said they referred to their roommate being unconscious, though. Again, that goes back. Was it the 5th roommate then? That's what I just referred to. Yeah, exactly. Right. All it says is 3 years ago, too. I don't know if I can find the specific day. Well, so Fiji, I have a question about that. The cops don't take you to the hospital. They call the paramedics. Not even, I mean, in any situation, I'm just trying to think through, is there no situation that they would do that? Right, because that's what I was just thinking. How mess success? How mess success? Yes, I was just wondering that same thing. Well, and that's the confusing part, right? Yes, 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 it would. This would explain the defibrillator too. Holy shit. Did we just crack the whole defibrillator debacle? Seriously asking, did we? Because they don't even check for life on the other patients, so they wouldn't need it. But if they're, wow. Rose Cookie, top dog. You're right. We were going down the line that the 4 roommates, but Rose Cookie said the one that went to the hospital could be one of the 4 that we already think we know about, and the actual 4 dead could include the perpetrator. Have we ever thought about maybe another reason we haven't seen the bodies is because, wow. We've had like 4 or 5 things that I have never thought through. Right, exactly. Well, how are we going to know? They blacked out the rooms. If they were unconscious, maybe somebody really was unconscious. So people have been taken to the ER by an officer before. Wow. Dude. Do you guys remember when I had Scott Payne on stream and he was undercover inside the Outlaws? And he said whenever they would get like a murder for hit or murder for hire, they would take some pictures, they would make it look real. Do you guys think that maybe the reason why the body cam took so long to get out was to make sure that nothing was seen? And they're like, they really fine-tooth combed, went through that. And what if that's right? What if they were just reenacting because oh my God, I don't know. I can't even get it out of my brain and out into words. And that's right, Robin. These are all verifiable things that have been getting said that we can put either an article or a video to that is different than the mainstream, but it would align with the theory. Well, that's another great question. And that's very true. That is very true, Morgan. Tony, you're always good for that. The Hive is on fire right now. I volunteer Tony Stevenson as tribute to go propose to Ann Taylor. Wow. Dude, I mean, if there's 2 perpetrators, and he's like, I don't want any witnesses to it. Do you take your partner out? And it's like, it looks like he bled out after he maybe got attacked, perhaps. Also, another higher IQ style move. Like if you unalived everybody and you were injured, you would say you were the one that survived. Yeah, I'm pretty mind blown too, Adrian, 1984 for sure. Well, and I don't know. They could be earlier. I mean, Sherlock had broke the Delta, so who knows? It's a good question. And yes, he does, allegedly, but I do believe that he does without going back to things that we think we know, right? Hell yeah. I love the Hive. We be hiving. That needs to be a saying. We be hiving. MMF's tuning in from Texas. Out of curiosity, is it anybody's first time here in the Hive? If it is, please let us know. We will welcome you. This is a contrarian thinking live stream where if you've been in here for a little bit, you realize that we're not afraid to think past the headlines. It does make sense. Why? Yeah, that could be a reason. I missed Tessa's comment. What was it? Let me go back up. Yeah, pale horse. That's right. I can't find it. Now, Wicca blank shady. Come on. Come on. I mean, Jesus. That's a plot twist for sure. Hey, we said we wanted different theories, so can't, that's different. I can't find it. Tessa, go ahead. Can you, if you don't mind, could you please type it out there and I'll keep an eye open for it. Thank you. And I second this. True Crime by Design is a great illustrator for sure. We should try to get True Crime Design here in the Hive. That'd be epic. Did you see that in an article or just on like social media, Sid? Sid read that the wounds are counted in a different way that is slightly misleading. Or maybe that's the normal way they count them. There's a lot of rumors about this court, the different death dates. I agree. I'm glad that people in here they think this way as well. I think it's good to go back to the beginning too. So let's go ahead. Let's see what else. So if you notice though, anybody that's saying that these rumors don't make sense, they're going off of a police report per the police. I believe the unconscious person was a victim. Yes, it was unconfirmed at the time. Oops. Recently, the Latah County coroner was quoted saying the situation was gruesome. So I wonder if they're waiting to release more information due to how complex the terrible situation is. Shoot. Oh, damn it. I just saw Tessa's comment again. I missed it. Now I got to scroll up. I read the no report taken on the one under the killings. Is that the right comment? Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Damn it. I can't find. Oh, here we go. The incident report, 1100 block King Road, ID 11:56 a.m. CAD comments call for unconscious person. Wow. And I'm not gonna lie, my brain is firing a million miles an hour. Sherlock, what was that in response to that Tessa said that or found that for? Dude, holy shit, UFO dog. That was another rumor. I never even would have thought of that. This is the type of thinking that is honestly, it's complex. It's like literally just a freedom to think out loud. And that's what I wanted the Hive to be when I started this. And I just appreciate everybody that's leaned into it. I mean, obviously these are tough questions. This is not a pleasant situation, but if people don't say anything about it, yeah, exactly, because someone was allegedly pregnant. Yes. Uh-oh. Oh God, Ariel, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Now what are we about to see? All right, let's keep rolling. The reporting has been so bad, honestly, not sure who to blame, the police or the local reporters. If it was a drug OD, I feel like it would have been reported as an accidental OD, not homicide. Yeah, there's zero context in the report, like who's the unconscious person? Were they in the house too? How'd that get reported? Was there someone alive inside, a neighbor, a mailman? What WTF is going on? It's using the wording homicide by police that has been confusing, since that can mean any form of person killing another person, which is true, right? You are convicted of homicide if you sell laced drugs. Correct? Or does that go in as manslaughter? Now that I just said that, I'm not sure. Yeah, thank you, Claire. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that do. Like I've said, like, is true crime really true crime isn't really like ever going to quote like scratch that itch. I love what I call narrative warfare. I can't stand the BS headlines, and that's my passion, is looking at a headline, looking at a narrative, and just ripping it to shreds. And the Idaho 4 case just so happens to be one that got me hooked. Oh, it's manslaughter because you're already committing a felony. Wow. So the person, Sherlock, am I reading this right? So Tessa looked up the thing that I just had on screen, but the unconscious person. And you're saying the 1100 block address drops right at the Taylor fire hydrant where the jacket was found. Wow. Well, I don't know if you guys saw that headline. It said crime of passion. New York Times. This is all the same stuff we've heard. Oops. A lot of people are confused why they're saying homicide and not murder. Does that matter, or is that not the same? That's a good question. Yeah, I've always thought it was the same too. Right, like right, yeah, exactly. I mean, homicide is a type of murder, correct? No, I did not, Luna. I did not yet. I'm gonna keep an eye out for it though. Thank you. And message me if I forget, because that'll be I've not seen that. Or oh no, I did. Dawn sent me that, right? That was by like Chaos Quinn. Yeah, the video, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I just remember. Yes, yep. It says, technically speaking, there's only a handful of manners of death. From a legal perspective, there's only homicide, suicide, accidental, or natural. Lots of things fall under homicide, such as manslaughter, murder, or even legal execution. The police are going to say as little as possible to not hurt their case or speculate publicly. From their perspective, whether it's murder or not, it's up to the court. It says murder is a legal term, while homicide just means somebody was killed. Now, they did get Koberger for, quote, murder with malice forethought. What is it about the blue pill thing? Now I'm curious. Okay, so here we go. So I think this person explains it really well. So much confusion or misinformation out there on what these terms mean. Homicide is someone else caused the killing. So if someone died by suicide or an accidental OD, that would not be considered a homicide. However, both manslaughter and murder are homicide. Murder is intentional. Voluntary manslaughter, heat of passion, still intentional. Involuntary, reckless, negligent. Unintentional deaths caused by someone usually can't be murder. Interesting. Well, and I want to go back to this real quick because my next slide goes again to somebody had found this. This was Cat's Mojo. Like I said earlier, they're on fire, and it says, mass shooting, Charlottesville, Virginia, and Moscow, Idaho. This is posted November 15th, 2022. And they even titled it that. Take a moment to pause and pray for the loved ones lost to violence in the mass shootings in Charlottesville, Virginia, Moscow, Idaho, November 2022. And this comment down here is talking about how they were cut up. And this person said, that is puzzling. Thank you for clarifying. And Amanda B, we're going to get back to that Reddit thread, but Amanda B, she pointed out a good point. Like, again, words, if they matter, they were found dead. Obviously, they were found dead, but they didn't say they were killed, right? So I don't know. I don't know if there's a really good chance we're overthinking that. Don't get me wrong. I'll address that. But it does make you question, like, in a situation like this, are you saying, Sarah, that you saw KXLY actually announce the name of the person? Or you're just saying you've heard them say that more than once? This was your point? Yeah, absolutely. It for sure could be. And that's why, too, it's important. That's why I think I personally, don't get me wrong, I've been posting those daily stings, but I personally like doing things live with the chat because those things that get said, then if you put it out in a video, it's so hard to correct it when you're putting it out live and you go live. I think with the format of what we do here of thinking past the headlines, this has got to be the best structure for it. Well said, Regina. I agree. I want to know again about that blue pill thing again. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the whole Whitsack angle, Carol, I don't disagree at all. I do not disagree with that. Again, as far as when we're theorizing this, yeah, somebody said wait till you get to the blue pill. And I don't know what that means. I haven't seen it yet. Well, clearly, Davina Duvall, you answered it right as you're typing. You finished typing it, then you answered. Adderall can be blue, Zan, Fenny. That's in that. I mean, that's this whole crime of passion. Ooh, what is this story? Oh, that's from 2007. As I understand it, of course, this is all rumor, but I do live in the area. The unconscious person found at the scene was the perp. That's the third comment. And isn't that interesting that that person had deleted their profile? That is the third comment on this thread, that the perp was the one who was unconscious. So here's the thing, too. I know Pav has been going at that Mowich angle. I'd be curious now with the gold van. And remember how didn't they say that accident? I don't remember because to be honest, I don't watch all of Pav's videos consistent enough for the in-between stuff. But I do remember watching one when he had talked about the car accident and like the broken feet and they couldn't find it on a certain day. I mean, I'd be curious if like maybe they couldn't find it. And again, I'm just going off of memory. I could be way off and maybe they did. But if it was a perp, or maybe Mowich got out and got away, and the other person, if there was two perps and it was a female, maybe, I don't know. Well, certainly what I've heard, dude, hang on, guys. Hive. We believe this was a targeted attack and there is no threat to the public. We believe there was a targeted attack and there's no threat to the public and we don't have a suspect. Is that because the perp was passed out? That could make sense for it. Do you guys know what I'm saying when it comes to that press conference? Pav explained that the tip by Farley was in code. MPD and ID was in code. MPD and IDP would not have figured it out. I'm gonna go watch that video. Can you put the link in the chat so that when I edit it, I can click the URL? Somebody, please, or the title of it, or whatever episode that is, because I want to go brush up on that. If he's showing the docs in that video, I haven't seen the code one. Right. They said there was no threat very awfully fast. They haven't had a press conference for 4 days. Was it really because there wasn't a lack of them knowing who did it? But they're like, well, everyone that did it is right here. We need to figure out what the hell happened. I mean, dude, for all we know, now you think back to DA going to CrimeCon and the story with Othram and Stacey Chapin on how Middleman went up to Stacey Chapin and said we had their DNA within 5 days. Oh, See, now we're opening up a rabbit hole. And that's right. That's okay. Yep. I see you, Farley. And then if Farley was the one that gave the tip on Mowich, I get what you're saying from, because I know the informant angle. Yes. Yes. And the 911 call could have taken so long because if the guy was already dead, why would you call 911? I mean, yes, if they're, I mean, you would, but if I don't know. I don't know. You obviously you wouldn't call the non-emergency number. Obviously you wouldn't do that. So that's a missed thought. But that's also true, Stone. Well, that's a $1 million question. That is $1 million question. And I wonder, what if that perp was undercover? What if that perp was undercover and they would be like, why the hell is that? If other people knew, could it take down other undercover agents in an ongoing op? I don't know. And I missed the blue pill. Thank you, Paris. This is the Hive. The Hive. If I have to play a video at the end of the stream to describe this Hive, because this is epic. This is epic. This is just a great thought exercise. The Hive's getting their swagger back. We're clearing. We're dusting off, and we're going back and we're thinking with new theories. And I genuinely believe that a lot of this makes a lot more sense now. I do. I genuinely think with what this stream has been, people are going to be able to hear this and piece together the theories. So again, if you are not in the Discord, please join the Discord. Discord Dawn has set up the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why back to the beginning with all of these type of documents. So you can go through these all in one place. Discord links, news articles, photos that people have had screenshotted that are on our Discord. It totally is. And absolutely. That's right. Amen to that. I've always wondered that. To be honest, I can't figure out how it. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter if I take, 911 from Outcast, or it doesn't matter if I take it from the original source of the Statesman. I hear them. I don't know how, like, where they went or how they're there. Ah, love it, Jennifer. Hell yeah. Yeah, we're going to keep doing these. Obviously, I got Tommy Jude on tomorrow, and Tommy will be a great fit for this type of stream. But Farley is alive, correct? And you're saying that it couldn't have been in this, K Wolf, just so I'm understanding. Oh, three-way call. Like if someone's on speakerphone. That could be it. That is a great thought, Ashley. Absolutely. Hive or die. What up? What up? Yeah, he's locked up right now. Well, let me just get through a couple more of these. Interesting. This too. Okay, so hang on. Before we end the stream, let's think through this. So I believe that it would make sense if they called for an unconscious person if it was the perp that was unconscious. The lady asking about the ROTC and the murder weapon and a female is confusing still. But Chief Fry then saying that it was a targeted attack. There's no risk for the community. Now, can we figure out this part? Hive, I think if we could figure out what would be the reason that Fry clarified the two roommates were not necessarily witnesses to the crime, but they were inside the 6-bedroom home. How? So that we've made sense of the defibrillator. We've made sense of why they said it could have been a targeted attack. Why would he say the two roommates were not necessarily witnesses? How could that be? So, well, yeah, I mean, right. Obviously they were there, but what I guess I don't. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to catch up on some of those videos. They didn't observe the attacks with their eyes, so they could create a timeline in the suspect. They weren't necessarily witnesses. Did you have to do that? Is that a narrative play? Is that a narrative play for a patsy cover up? That, and then you want to know what else this would lead into is, again, Brian Koberger might be a Fed. Okay. Wow. That would be wild. See, Marcy, great thought. Again, going back to forgetting everything about it, that is a logical thought. If you didn't know anything about it, maybe they were locked in. They could have just been saying not say anything. Yeah, I'm gonna show that. I'm gonna show that tomorrow. I watched it. I didn't put it in the slides. Yeah, right. They could have. That's my thought. Butter Lily. Right. Well, Fry said that they were there. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, Nathan, great call. Great call. Yeah, words matter. Indy Cindy. See, that's my type of theory too. Who knows? But that's a great comment right there. And yes, next week, I'm not going to spoil who it might be. But yeah, I'm having I know that's been a big request of the Hive. I've been saying I would do it. So I'm finally able to get into contact with somebody and they got back to me today. So yeah, there's a lot of unpacking, Hive. I think we have enough. We could focus on this still for reasoning, but great live. I want to show you guys what this live dig kind of felt like in my mind. And that is this is what I feel like today.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh. I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
Hive, epic stream tonight. Thank you to everybody. I mean, that rocked. That's a top stream. That's one of the best ones we've had in a while, with 4, 5, 6, 7 different thoughts that I've never once had about this case. And so the strange headlines, they do line up, they do shed light. I mean, Hive, type of one, if you've had a thought tonight about this case that is very logical and you've never had. I mean, I'll go ahead, I'll put my one in the chat right now, because that was awesome. I mean, that was crazy. And I just want to say thank you to Jamie, Redman, Granny Wolf, and Everything Me. Holy hell, again, I cannot believe that. That is a record by so far. It's not even funny, but thank you so much. And what a day too that you had that I had seen your comment and you had said, I disagree with you, Birdie, but you give, people are able to come in and disagree. And that's what this is for. That's what this is for. That's genuinely, it's okay to disagree in here. We have great mods. We have people who are open-minded. And I appreciate everybody in here. I just want you all to know that. So tomorrow night, as a reminder, and the Hive's first annual Best Tinfoil Hat Contest in the Discord, that is going to start. And the deadline is on October 7th. Dawn, that is up and running. We will vote on October 8th. There's going to be a different theme contest for each week. Winners of each week will get a prize that'll be announced on the roundtable, which is Sunday, October 5th. If you want to be on that roundtable, birdiebombshell00@gmail.com. I have a lot of people, but please don't stop sending them, because what I'll do then, if you don't get picked for this one, I'll go back through and read people. So if you've submitted for 2 or 3 roundtables in the past, you could still get an email and I'll see if you're interested. And tomorrow night, Tommy Jude, the OG, is going to be live and in the Hive. So with that, I hope everybody has a great night. Sleep good, everybody. Cheers.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.